Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm live. Yes, this is Soul Brother Talib from Reality Temple Ministries on Earth, and AK Operation Exodus, Mississippi. Um, I would like to talk to you tonight, fellow dark-skinned soul brothers and sisters throughout this nation that we know of as the United States of America. Um, you know, after watching a video that was another video promo that was recently put out by our brother Omar Shabazz uh, regarding our Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign platform, which was another great video by him done. By the way, it helped inspired me just to title the this video exactly the way I did, which is the reasons, the exact reasons for a free black safe sanctuary here in America. You know, and upon me even watching, you know, the news, whether it was coming from social media or mainstream media, even, you know, far as here in America, um, I must say that what I've been seeing, like what I did a video about concerning this so-called government shutdown by the president, and also, you know, just the overall situation dealing with us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. Uh, I have to say that, the time is right now, you know, that, and even though we may have a long road ahead of us toward true freedom, justice, and equality, but I say it's the time that we must start at this point, even if we don't have much time left or any time at all, as of that matter, because of the way things in this country is going in general, and also as far as, especially in the case of us, as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. And I must say also that it's necessary that we fight tooth and nail, not only against the Caucasian races who may oppose our Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, but even against those blacks in this country who are prefer to call dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, that also is opposed to this ideal. We must fight tooth and nail against them. As simple as that, so that we can secure a safe sanctuary for us as a people. It's an all-out war on us right now. I don't care which way it's coming from, and I'm talking about overall on all fronts. It's just an all-out war, against us. Whether it's police, shooting us down in the streets, whether it's some other races that's gunning us down or attacking us in the streets, or wherever they may see the right opportunity to do so here in this nation. Um, and we don't have no protection. Like I heard quite a while back, someone saying in a video, especially I believe after Trump got elected as president, you know, and it was like somebody was saying, we're on our own. And even if we called the police for help, basically, it's true. We are on our own. You know, we don't have no protection. And of course, if we call the police, it may take them quite long to come, or they may not even show up at all, especially in our case. I mean, so basically, we are on our own. And I hate this, you know, even when we're being victimized by each other when it come to crime. We're on our own. I mean, and it's sad, you know, but I have to say the truth because I do support truth and nothing but the truth. And the truth is that though I am located in a certain part of this country, which happens to be a predominant Caucasian area that I live in, which is ran and controlled by Caucasians. Uh, I mean, if someone call the police on somebody, I don't care if it's black or white. If anybody call the police on somebody, whether they're black or white, the police is coming. They're gonna come because I mean, in anywhere that they have a total monopoly of control at, they're gonna make sure that crime is maintained at a lower level than a lot of other places in the country, especially that's considered urban when about metropolitan like where I'm from originally, Detroit or Chicago or Oakland, Atlanta, New Orleans, Baltimore, Newark, New Jersey, places where you'll find a greater population of darker skinned descendants of slaves born in America located at, as well as overpopulated in. But anyway, as I was saying, it's like, you know, we need to really be protected no matter what we are. Even where I'm at still, I have to consider the facts in reality that look, I'm still in America no matter what, and I'm still a dark skinned descendant of a slave born in America, and that, you know, uh, I'm still subject to the mistreatment behind racism, the threat of some type of racial attack, or even attack coming from my own kind of some unnecessary sort, manner, and we need to establish a safe haven as a sanctuary where we can grow and produce a more better situation so we won't have to worry about being in this current and present type of situation that we unfortunately find ourselves in, as a dark skinned descendant of slaves born here in America. And, you know, and this is the reason why we're starting with the state of Mississippi, because that is a state that is overpopulated with dark skinned people, so which are dark skinned descendants of slaves born in America, which we're promoting to get them, at least those that live down there in that state, to the point of utilizing their voting power so that we cannot not take over a town politically, or as far as taking over politics of a local town or city or some isolated city or isolated town, but taking control of the politics of the whole entire state of Mississippi, which can benefit us all as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, in which, like Omar basically said at the, in words shown at the end of his video, that we could have a safe haven for us to make a exit to when we get tired of all the riffraff that goes along with the racism, the gerrymandering, the profiling, the police brutality throughout the rest of America. We could have a place that we could go to where we can call safely home, or in terms as a way of isolation, of course, from the rest of America, where all these ills are taking place, and we won't no longer have to deal with that. And then we could establish that as a stronghold in terms of taking control of the politics, and then moving on to the state of Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, and other places wherever our people may be overpopulated at, where we could get them to utilize their voting power, where we could create laws that as well in those other places like Mississippi to benefit us, and where also even Caucasians would have to abide by and respect, and I mean, this is what comes along with the reasons why we need a safe sanctuary, and and because of the inconsistencies with Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is the reason why Black Wall Street fell like it did in 1921, because it did not cover those important angles. And of course, at the time, Jim Crow was in effect, so that's understandable, but they should have still, had some type of kind of militia, to protect them from the brutal racial attacks that they suffered at the time, and what caused, Black Wall Street to fall of Homer. And see, with us taking control of the politics in terms of a state such as Mississippi, we will be able to maintain protection around us, such as taking control of the National Guard, of course, at the foremost, and also, putting those in place far as in law enforcement, and even though, of course, we can't discriminate against them even if they're white, that's in the National Guard, of course, or in law enforcement. I mean, we're still in the United States, you know. Mississippi is still a part of the United States and is up under the authority of the U.S. federal government. So we cannot discriminate against no one because of their race or color in terms of hiring people or allowing people to maintain positions, whether it be in the National Guard or any other type of form of law enforcement. But what we want to make sure is that they carry out laws that will politically benefit us for the totality of our protection as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. And like I said, this is the reason what Brother Talik, yes, that's our Brother Talik in the comment section, who I'm consistent on this platform. But anyway, as I was saying, we need to really understand that we need a safe haven around us. And we need to be surrounded with protection, as I mentioned, whether it's, of course, starting with the National Guard and all other law enforcement that will be within the confines of the state of Mississippi, you know, that would be, situated for the purpose to serve us, you know, as a people and serve everyone in the state of Mississippi, no matter, like I said, what the color of their skin is or what their nationality is. But being that it is a majority of us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, of course, it would as well, of course, be for the benefit of protecting us from, like I say, the brutal, aspect of racism that we face throughout the rest of America, and this is what we need right now. This is what we just straight up need, and unfortunately, we got a lot of people in the so-called Black conscious community, oh, let me see. What is he saying? Could you put that up there again, brother? That just faded out on me. But anyway, like I said, it's a lot of things, like I said, we need in terms of covering ourselves because we are in the time of war. And it's a war so far that we're not winning as a people, far as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America is concerned, But like I said before, it's crazy, that why would a people want to keep taking this? We've taken all we could take for over 400 years from the oppressor, under this slave-like condition that we've been under for all these generations. And we still want to continue on living within these conditions. I mean, I don't understand it. Yes, we can't stand no more. You're right about that, brother. Yeah, we can't stand no more. Yeah, that's right, Talik. We took so much to the point we can't stand no more. And like I said, I just it got to end. It got to end. Or else we just gonna perish. We just gonna be headed to these mass graves. Within these FEMA concentration camps that they got set up all over the country for us. I mean, and I don't get into this so-called conspiracy theorist thing, but it will make you want to believe half of some of the stuff that these conspiracy theorists is talking about. Like with the things that we see that's going on in the country. But of course, because it's a lot of inconsistencies and unfactual speculations, which is why I don't get into the conspiracy theorist thing far as, so-called, speculations of what's going to happen, especially as far as America is concerned. But I could say this, that what we actually see is clear-cut fact is, what I could go along with and what I could only go along with in terms of why I even made this video, or why I decided to make this video. And I just, I mean, it's too many dark skinned sisters and brothers getting locked up in this country every day, especially with these draconian, crazy jail prison sentences. I mean, and it's definitely based on inequality. Because I mean, hey, the same crimes, of course, that the Caucasian, who is the majority, 80% of them crimes is committed by them, and not even half of them see a day in jail. You know, and I mean, it's like, I mean, all we got to do is look at their own statistics, and even the concrete facts that come along with their statistics. They show that it's a lot of unequal bias going on in this so-called criminal justice system of this country, which we see resulting in the mass incarceration, more so of dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America than any other group of people in this country. So like I said before, I mean, we need a safe haven from all that, as well as that included. We need a safe haven. Simple as that. And like I said, we in order for us to even want to with the continent of Africa, we gonna have to have a state, definitely like Mississippi, as a platform base to start from, to be able to even accomplish that reality as far as making connections with the continent of Africa, as far as those dark-skinned people over there are concerned, to where we could build more better bridges with, you know, and those of you that are in the so-called Pan-African movement or whatever, this is why y'all need to get on board with this Operation Exodus Mississippi platform. Because obviously what y'all been doing, which is thousands of y'all that are into Pan-Africanism, hasn't obviously worked, because it hasn't benefited the whole of us as a dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. It has not benefited us, and obviously it won't benefit us even at this point. So like I said before, we really need to do something. We got to do something, even in terms of it being drastic, so to speak. But we have to still be smart about it and come with correct organization as far as doing something in this manner to change our condition in this nation. And, and like I said before, we are in that time, but in a way, like I said, by organizing on a common collective basis and putting our disagreements to the side and not caring what religion we belong to, what ideology we belong to. Because right now, especially at this time in the hour of darkness for us as a people in this country, don't none of that matter. Don't none of that matter when it comes to a racist police blowing a brother or sister's head off. They not gonna ask you, is you a Christian? Is you a Muslim? Is you a Hebrew Israelite? Is you a Nubian? Is you a Moor? Is you a Pan-Africanist? A Kemet, worshiper, whatever that is, they not gonna ask you none of that. All they see is a dark-skinned face with the intentions of killing you. And that's just that simple. And if we don't understand that, we gonna keep getting what we get as a people. And this is why it's so important for us to get a safe sanctuary. Just think about it. While all this, let's look past all this smokescreen stuff with Donald Trump so-called trying to build a wall on the border. And let's look at also all this other smokescreen stuff about them not wanting these Latinos from Central America or Mexico in this country. But at the same time, when they come over here within these borders of the United States illegally, let alone legally, but illegally, they still are granted sanctuary cities that is geared toward protecting them. An illegal immigrant being allowed, the comforts, being allowed, to be able to have a sanctuary city where they'll be protected, even when it comes to the laws of these sanctuary cities against the federal government, by the way. But here it is, we as the children, of dark-skinned slaves born in America, you know what I'm saying, is not even thought about when it comes to this issue of having a place of sanctuary so we could be surrounded 1000% with protection, And like I said before, we need this. Unless, like I say, we want to perish. We need this. It's just that simple. Unless we want to perish. Because as it looks right now, that's exactly what's happening to us. We're perishing. Like I said, we ain't being lost, in terms of mass incarceration, far as to the so-called criminal justice system of this country. We're being lost to our early graves, especially over trivial stuff, unnecessary stuff, and of course, primarily the racism that comes behind it. I mean, we have a right to a safe place of sanctuary just like anybody else in this country. Especially them illegal immigrants, like I said, that have entered within these borders of the United States. I mean, without no question, So like I said, here it is, we've been here as captives for over 400 years. We should, anytime the issue about sanctuary, let alone a sanctuary city, but a sanctuary state come up, we should be the first to be mentioned as well as considered, period, point blank, and like I said before, we need to understand that this is actually where we need to go at this point in time as a people, because it's nothing else. I mean, look, and I'm gonna mention a little something about this government shutdown that's still ongoing right now in this country. But I was told just before I started making this video that for the whole entire month of February, those that benefit from SNAP food stamp benefits, may not be getting any type of food stamp benefits for the whole entire month of February. I don't know about March, but for the whole entire month of February, because of the situation with this government shutdown. Now, what are they going to do next? Is they going to exempt those who benefit from Medicaid and Medicare as well because of this government shutdown, like I talked about in the previous video I made concerning that subject about the government shutdown? You know, I mean, this is serious. Wake up and smell the coffee, people. I mean, doodle exactly stink just like it do. Wake up and smell the coffee. This thing ain't no game. This is for real. And especially when it comes to us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, we're the first on the chopping block when it comes to any type of ills concerning issues in this country that affects this whole entire nation, period. We're the first on the chopping block. We cannot forget that. So, like I said before, hey, I mean, either we gonna wake up, like I said, and smell the coffee, or we going to perish. I mean, if you really want freedom, you would, you know, bite down tooth and nail and do whatever is necessary, in a correct way to obtain that freedom. It's just that simple, you know. And what I mean by any necessary means, I don't mean doing nothing silly or crazy either. You know, this is why a lot of our, ancestors from back in the civil rights movement or the so-called Black Power movement of the 1960s and 70s is either no longer around or is incarcerated in different prisons throughout the country because they did not properly think this out. Just like what happened to Brother Fred Hampton, as an example, back in 1969. You know, just like what happened to Brother Mumia Abu-Jamal. Just like what happened to the Poindexter brothers here in Nebraska, who was framed over a white police getting killed in Omaha back in 1970. And they're both still doing time for that right now here in the state of Nebraska. And they were a part of the local Black Panthers out of Omaha, by the way. But like I said, they was part of the local Black Panther Party chapter in Omaha, and like I said, they got framed. And like I said, it's the same narrative go, just like with the same thing that happened also to another former Black Panther like Mumia Abu-Jamal in Philadelphia, And we see this in many cases, back to back. You still got people that was a part of the John Africa movement in Philadelphia, which Mumia Abu-Jamal also had some type of connection with. And they're still doing time on trumped up charges in Pennsylvania, behind their community being bombed by the federal government back in 1985. So like I said, it's getting crazy, but we have to think, we have to think, and we have to organize properly, and we have to think. And we can't just be randomly or recklessly saying certain things that could cause us to get identified as what they call that thing pro-black extremists. Like a few brothers have already. Which a law that's been in place since Trump has been in office. By the way, these pro-black extremists, just running off at the mouth saying anything, and basically the same thing that Fred Hampton said would cause him to be identified as such in that manner today. I mean, it's just certain things you don't say or do, especially when you're talking about, you know, operating in terms of gaining your freedom, you know, against the opposement of the United States government. you know, you have to be thinking properly and not just recklessly saying stuff that you're not supposed to say. And of course, we see that's not gotten us nowhere as a people. And today, we can see that some of our most recent leaders have gotten incarcerated or killed behind that. Just like a couple of those brothers that was involved with the Ferguson movement, during the Ferguson riots and stuff, and that took place after Michael Brown got killed in Ferguson, Missouri. Some of them is dead. There's a couple of them that's dead right now, mysteriously, just disappeared, got killed. you know, because obviously it was something reckless involved in what they was doing. I mean, it's just certain things you don't do or say. And we have to also understand this with this platform campaign of Operation Exodus Mississippi. We can't act reckless and we can't say reckless things nor do reckless things. Or else we're going to end up just like those organizations that crumbled, like the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, that was under Elijah Muhammad, just like, these other so-called pro-black organizations also, that was back in the 60s along with the Panthers and the Nation, So, in other words, we can't repeat where our ancestors went wrong at, And yeah, that's right. Blacks are very emotional. Yes, we got to stop that. We have to be rational, just like you say, brother. Yes, we have to be very rational. And whatever we're doing to them in liberation, we have to be very rational. Unless we're willing to, like I say, unless we're willing to go before the slaughter to have our heads chopped off unnecessarily, yeah. It's just that simple. Because we're not in no position to say the reckless stuff and to do the reckless stuff that we do. That get ourselves caught up in these jams, which has been happening to us for so long, even in terms of us and our liberation struggle as a people in this country. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so people, yeah, like you say, they like things that they could clap about and holler and shout and pout about. And that damn show definitely ain't getting us nowhere. Nor has, nor ever will. Yeah, you're right about that, brother. And yeah, brother Talik. Yes, sir, you're right. Yeah, that's real. That's just 1,000%. you know, I mean, all that emotion stuff, protesting, marching, justice, or what else? Yeah, what? Or else, yeah, or else what? Exactly. Or else what? You know, I mean, it don't make no sense. You know, we, yeah, I mean, we just, that's just, that reckless type of irrational thinking ain't gonna get us nowhere but killed or sent to the penitentiary like what's happened to us so many times. We need to take a new directive approach to the struggle of true liberation And this is what this platform of Operation Exodus Mississippi is exactly about, so that we would not have to repeat the same things that our past black organizations have done, which was in terms of being inconsistent, which led us nowhere but further into death, you know? And you know, yeah, you know, you're right, brother, yeah. All that's crazy. You know, all that hooping and hollering like in a black church at the Million Man March and yeah, all that ain't, and then, you know, throwing millions and millions at these pimp preachers and ministers. I don't care if they Muslims or Christians. Yeah, you know, that's real. You know, ain't got us no damn where. You know, and that's just a fact. You know, and we need to understand that. And that is among definitely the reasons why we need a new sanctuary. You know, that is exactly why we need a new sanctuary. You know, that's why we need a new sanctuary, so that all this could completely change. Else, we're, as they say, out of luck. You know, and it's just that simple. You know, and I mean, unfortunately, I mean, you know, man, I really, I'm almost at a loss of words of being, as far as being tongue tied anyway, you know, because I mean, what more can you say? I mean, I understand that slavery, from the inception of chattel slavery, that we've been crippled as a people for so long, but that still is not no excuse. We are in a situation where we can make the choice to change our situation 1000% all the way around for the better. We are in a position where we can do that. We have the resources, we have the people with the resources that can also help this to become a true living reality. But we got to stop this daggone petty division that's keeping us from getting to that point. It's got to stop it. We got to stop the self-hatred that's involved, that's getting in the way of our progress toward true liberation. We got to stop this. You know? Yeah, you're right. How can a smart person reject the Mississippi campaign? That's real. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if you are truly smart, then you won't reject the Mississippi campaign at all. You know? That's right. You know, and yeah, that's right, brother Tully. You know, yeah. You know, and because anybody that's really thinking with a sound, clear mind would know that and understand that and act on that accordingly with true understanding that you know, this Operation of Exodus Mississippi campaign cannot be rejected for nothing in terms of our situation as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. So, you know, I mean, you know, I really, you know, I have to, you know, get on with the rest of the night because I have to get up else and, you know, go on with my life in terms of responsibilities or whatever, you know. But I'm going to say this, you know, hey, you know, we really need to understand that, hey, we need a sanctuary spot for us, and that's a state, you know, where we could start from as a base to make all possibilities and dreams or whatever we wanted as a people in this country to come true. Because obviously, under this racism, we're not going to be able to totally accomplish that. We're going to only be, kept at a certain position, at a certain lower position. In other words, we got a ceiling over us blocking us from the further real progress that we can make with having a state like Mississippi behind us. Is we got to keep that in mind, that long as we reject this ideal of the Mississippi campaign, the ceiling will remain over us in terms of us accomplishing and realizing our dreams in the totality of what real true liberation and equality is. And that's just simple as that, point blank. And with that said, I'm going to leave y'all with the words of peace by brother Don Cornelius, our late brother Don Cornelius. Love, peace, and soul.